into his heart. One night, weak and folding in on himself, Cordoba asks for something. Not food, not rescue. He makes Alvarenga promise. "If you live," he says, "find my mother. Tell her what happened to me." Alvarenga promises. And only later does he understand what that promise really was. Because a man only asks you to carry word to his mother when he already knows, with total certainty, that he is not going to make it home. What does a dying man's promise do to the one still breathing? And how long before the ocean comes to collect on it? Around 4 months in, Ezequiel Cordoba dies. It is not violent. It is not sudden. He simply fades, stops eating, then stops drinking, then stops answering, and one morning the boat that held 2 men holds 1 living man and 1 body, and Alvarenga cannot accept it. So he does something that, on dry land, in a normal life, would sound like madness. He keeps Cordoba in the boat, for days. He arranges him, he talks to him, he tells him about the weather, the water, the birds overhead. He asks him questions, and then, in Cordoba's voice, he answers himself. You need to understand why before you judge it. Out here, silence is not the absence of sound. It is a pressure. It presses on the mind until the mind begins to crack, and a cracking mind will do anything not to be alone. A dead friend who still seems to listen is better than an empty boat and the roar of nothing. The conversation is a lie, and the lie is the only thing standing between Alvarenga and the dark. He catches himself saving the best of each day for Cordoba. A strange colored fish, a sudden shift in the wind, a bird that lands and stays. He turns to share it before he remembers there is no one left to share it with. And then he tells the body anyway. That is how far he has gone. That is how heavy the silence has become, heavy enough that a dead man is better company than the truth. For about 6 days he talks to the corpse. 6 days in which the line between the living man and the dead one starts to blur, in which he is no longer entirely sure which of the 2 of them is still really here. This is the true horror of the open ocean. Not the shark, not the storm. A human being's own mind, turning against him in the one place on earth where there is no one left to pull him back. And then somehow, a piece of him surfaces. A cold, clear thought cuts straight through the fog. If you keep talking to a dead man, you will become one. You will lose your mind out here first, and then you will lose your life. So he does the hardest thing he has done yet. He says goodbye. He commits Ezequiel Cordoba's body to the sea, lowers him into the water and lets him go, and watches the ocean fold